Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of
The Skooled Zone.
Alright, when we last left off, we had made our way into the backyard, checked out a bunch of stuff all up and around this area, and now we have the second half to tackle now. This guy and his alarm are making me a bit nervous, so let's see if we can take him out real quick. Now, we saw in the last episode it is really hard to get these guys in the back of the head. Let's see if that'll... Ah, yes. So I'm going to disarm this alarm. And then make our way all the way back up. We can't quite get there yet. And... back up here. Nice. Okay, so now we're in slightly less danger, and we can crash this glass and come down through the ceiling like we're repelling paratroopers or something. Alright, so let's check this out. I see a rune. Might as well grab that. That's always nice. And we got 7 out of 7. Awesome. Let's check out and see if we can purchase anything yet. Bend time. That is so tempting. But you know what? I really want this devouring swarm. So we are going to resist the temptation and go for the long game reward. We'll always be able to pick up bend time in a little bit. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff around here and here. Might as well just start here and work our way around. Let's see what this audiograph player has to say.
We cannot doubt the effectiveness of Holger's device, or the mathematical beauty of the music itself. We've seen it in action against the forbidden practices too many times to deny it. But the question no one wishes to ask is the incantation itself black magic? The boxes are priceless, but what's inside?
Alright, we're starting to get some clues about the magic boxes. We see one right over here. We'll get to that in a second, but he mentioned the word incantation, which means the speaking of words for a magical spell. I think it originally came from the word cantare in Latin, which means to sing. So let's keep checking all this out. Harmonic correspondence. Okay, so they are sort of linking math to music, which is a fairly natural correlation, actually. And then they're taking that a step further and linking it to some otherworldly stuff. We are not going to use that right now because it suppresses the void powers, but let's read what the music box has to say. Overseer Humphrey, I left you a copy of the ancient music so you might familiarize yourself with the principles I'm employing in this latest variation of Holger's device, or the music box, as the men call it. As you should know, it produces harmonies that render heretical energies or magic inert through counterbalancing mathematical principles. Read the book, and then make yourself useful by finding us some subject to test it on. The city is choked with corruption and superstition, so I trust you won't have to look far. Signed, High Artificer Bartholomew. An artificer is an extremely skilled craft person, not used too often these days. And we'll see these music boxes a little later. They're a pretty big hassle, although they actually look more like street organs than music boxes. This one has the front open so you can sort of see what's inside, but they're later covered with like an armored shell that makes the overseers even that much harder to hit. So he mentioned the ancient music. I think that's this book. Yep, let's read it. An excerpt from a longer work. Throughout the natural world, there are ripples that we can barely perceive with our senses, and ancient music permeating everything as a fundamental structural rule. Through it, you can work wonders without violating the natural world or begging favors from unfriendly spirits. Throughout my studies, I've found a 17-note scale derived from this phenomenon. So nearly all music is built on a 12-note scale, so saying they found a 17-note scale implies some supernatural discoveries. And with the right equipment, those notes allow for astonishing effects. Not the least of these is the ability to calm the turbulence originating in the void, which we attribute to the outsider. Alright, interesting stuff. You know, there have been stories of supernatural musical phenomenon. For example, you may have heard of the Taos Hum, or maybe a composer from the early 20th century named Rezo Saris, who created a song that made people commit suicide. I know, creepy. And then there's something called resonance. Without going into too much detail, it's the creation of sound frequencies that can vibrate objects. You've probably heard about or even seen someone sing and cause glass to shatter. The enigmatic inventor Nikola Tesla allegedly made a building vibrate and nearly collapse through his oscillation machine. We'll talk more about Tesla in upcoming episodes. He was definitely a trippy dude. Alright. So let's keep moving. Oh, I see something up there. Let's check that out. Unusual bottle. Okay, so we can't take it, which means we have to smash it. Workshop chest key. Yep, I think that opens that. Alright, we'll get to that in a second. Let's read what this is. Exploding hounds. Alright, that doesn't sound too friendly. Bartholomew, I've seen the harnesses you've been devising in that workshop of yours. If you plan to strap explosives to my precious hounds and make living bombs out of them, you can count me out of your plan. I'm the master of the hounds here, and without my training they'll never do as you request. Signed, Houndmaster Wharton. Alright, so I think we either met him in the kennels or read a note by him. But were explosive dogs ever a real thing? Actually, they were. The concept was tested and even used, as cruel as it sounds, in some old wars. The most famous example is during World War II when the Soviets trained dogs to run under tanks and explode. They called them, I think, anti-tank dogs. The problem was that sometimes the dogs would run back to their owners before they exploded and would blow up the trainers. So, talk about some karma. Alright, so let's read this. Replacement valve. Humphrey, would you see to it that this valve gets installed in that little supply depot by the loading docks? The men have been grumbling about this thing for what must be months now, as if there were anything of value on the other side of that door it's supposed to open. Keep quelling problems like this for me and you just might make apprentice. So, quelling, well, to quell means to put an end to or overcome something. Signed, High Artificer Bartholomew. I think Bart is where the nickname comes from, Bartholomew. Alright, it worked. Nice. Okay, I see some blueprints to improve his armor. Very nice. Okay, so let's keep going around here. Nothing up there. Bunch of stuff in these little cubby holes. Yeah, we can replace that. Very cool. Hemlock, herbs, ore, and something called the Metaphysika Mysterium. Sounds interesting. Excerpt from a longer band work on supernatural ritual. It is said that we should not sully, which means to dirty or corrupt, our hands when combating the forces of the void. My studies have been deemed heretical by my brothers, but the rewards have been invaluable. I have harnessed some of the energies employed by the outsider and his accursed followers. We talked about accursed, I think, in the last episode, while avoiding their corruption. I will prescribe a twofold method in this text. Indirection. As the unwholesome powers of the outsider use living flesh as a conduit, we can avoid being tainted by using the flesh of others instead. Containment. By using the channels and barriers, we can focus these void energies in a raw state, shielding them from perverse perspectives of the outsider. I think I mentioned perverse in a previous episode, but it basically means wicked or immoral. Okay, so let's keep going. Hemlock essence. Some bolts. Don't need that, but we do need these. Workshop key. Alright, alright, alright. Bolts. And can always use a grenade. Let's see what this has to say. Campbell, we initially thought it a great find when we came across some of the crossbows that the assassins have been using to harry our patrols. Harry in this case means to attack or harass. The models we found, however, have proven lacking. Dowd's men have a greater accuracy and range, and I swear theirs reload faster. I'm recommending that we stick with the pistols and sabers and count this as a lesson in where our strengths lie. Sincerely, High Artificer Bartholomew. And, yeah, let's see if the... Yeah, there's a few more bolts over here. I think we're close to being maxed. Yep. Oh, I was just going to say, the coast is clear, but not quite. Alright. Oh man, look at those whale oil tanks. I hate to do this, but... yeah, that was pretty awesome. Yeah, I think we survived that little cacophony there. Excellent. See, as soon as we get the next rune, we'll be able to have rats just eat up these corpses. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to kill you. Okay, so let's check out this room over here. See what we got. Actually, let's take a peek. Ooh, they're talking.
Your brothers in the Order. Was that your intent? To spread the malady to us?
No, friend. I tell you, I am well.
Looks like grenade time to me.
As fit as ever. Put down your weapons. Just think for a moment before you...
Oh, they're gonna have to pay for that one. Awesome. Okay. See, grenades just rule. And once again, I think we survived that without alerting too much attention. Very nice. Okay, so now we can check out what this room's all about. And a couple of coins, I think. And we got a bunch of little notes. This must be their little mail room here. Let's check these out. Final warning. Edmund, it has come to my attention that you know where my sanctum is. Is that what he's calling it? A sanctum is a private place, usually sacred or holy in some way. And I think he's talking about the High Overseer's little secret room that we found by pressing Holger's eye. If I catch you loitering by the statue of Holger again, hoping to run into and perhaps liaise with one of my guests, liaise means to coordinate or communicate with, I'll have you branded a heretic and cast out of the city. Regards, High Overseer Campbell. Remember in a previous episode when we snuck down into that little sewer area and then came up to the back window and overheard those guys in his room? I think this guy Edmund was probably one of them. Last night. Wyndham, last night was wonderful. Am I right at this moment, imagining your arms around me and your breath on my neck? I feared for our lives when your fellow overseers found us, but you proved resourceful as always. And no, I won't take your slurs and threats personally, for I know you were merely trying to throw off any suspicions they might have had of us. I hope to see you again soon, perhaps in 2 nights when you have a leave once more. Darian. So you can probably take a guess what that's all about. And we miss you. Dear Harold, I don't generally do this, but I came across a letter your parents sent when you were first taken to Whitecliff. Remember that we have rules in place to spare you the decision of trying to make contact with them. We can no longer walk among those we seek to protect. And this is probably the letter part. If you would at least read this letter to him, though your motives may be just, we know he's probably scared right now, and we are unable to be there for him. Son, we miss you. We're so sorry we can't come to you now and take you from wherever they've stolen you away. Be strong, son. We know you will see your way through. Please remember us and try to find us when you're free. We love you, Mama and Papa. All right. It's a little sad there. Be warned. Berthold. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I found one of our brothers attempting to put a package in the post boxes for the others to find, and I believe it to be the evidence of your sister's involvement in witchcraft you spoke to me about. I attempted to stop him, but he insisted that I would burn for her crimes if I was attempting to cover her deeds. You should warn her. See if the two of you can flee the city before they reach her. Your friend and brother. Alright, so he's probably the guy we met when we first entered the backyard, saving his sister from those overseers. And if I remember correctly, he gave us that code, which will open that safe. He said it was 203, so let's give that a try. Bingo. Alright, not much in here. Pouch. Oh, and some sleep darts. Can always use more of those. Let's see what we got in here. Really? Back up to max on the Spring Raiders? I'm going to have to increase the capacity of that. Okay. Let's start with draft 1 here. Bartholomew, I am sick of mopping your floors and dusting your shelves. All of this in hopes of receiving the crumbs of knowledge that you cast my way. If you think I'm going to wait around forever... Dear High Artificer, this is in regards to my being chosen for the position of your apprentice. If you don't mind, I would appreciate it if you looked at my record of service over the last several months. You will find that I've been... High Artificer, I was visited by Holger himself in my dreams last night. He told me I was about to do great works for the Abbey, to cast out darkness where I find it, to help arm my brothers with weapons that reach beyond the physical into the very heart of the outsider. I think I'm ready for this task. He's kind of changing his tune with each draft. Let's see what his final one would say. Hi, Artificer Bartholomew. I would appreciate it if you would consider promoting me to your apprentice, formally, so that I might work with you full-time. Thank you, Humphrey. Simple is better, I guess. Ooh, and there's another dude over there. We'll get to him in a minute. The Young Prince of Tibia. Oh, we actually read that one back at the Hound Pit's pub. So, let's do something about this guy. It's elevated. Awesome. So we can shoot him and then dart the pooch. Excelente. Grab those. And let's keep moving on. Is that a no? Oh, you know what? I never noticed that before. Way under the bed there. That's the combination in case you didn't get it from saving those people. Interesting. Okay, so let's keep kind of sneaking around up here. I don't think we've taken everybody out yet, but we might have. Let's check out this little room here. Pouch, sleep darts. Don't need that. Don't need that. Alright. Hey, little guys. Okay, so just in case you're curious, if we had taken the door from the offices, they would have entered through here. But I'm glad we went the other way, so we get to see more stuff in the beginning. Check out the mess hall. Ooh, there's a dog. Looks like he's sleeping. So let's keep him asleep. Little trank dart. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Customs and food of Morley. We read that in Dr. Galvani's office. We want some more repeats there, which allows us to keep scooting along. It's funny how these things are on plates, but these are not. It's the Sixth Stricture. Excerpt from a work detailing one of the 7 strictures. Restrict the wanton flesh. Truly there is no quicker means by which a life can be upheaved and sifted than by the depredations of uncontrolled desire. So depredations means, well, it normally means like ravaging or pillaging or like preying upon. In this case, he might be talking about what it's doing to the person. What avail is the concourse of a prostitute? Concourse basically means like to come together. The attention of a loose companion? Nothing. And what of the fruit of such unions? Only sorrow is born. Only misery is multiplied. Within these things the outsider dwells. So, relating this back to the 7 deadly sins, this would probably be lust. Huh, and there's a third way to get that combo. It's interesting. Some of these they really give away, and others are really hard to track down, as we'll see in some upcoming episodes. These things just look awesome. Okay, I actually meant to do that. Forgot I had the dart equipped. It's all good though. We put a little pot and kettle to sleep. Wouldn't that be cool if there's some replacements in here? I don't think there is. I think there's, yeah, they're just regular bolts. Let's go ahead and keep moving on. Alright, we may have just taken everybody out. That's pretty cool. Okay, so this right here is where we plug in that valve. Overseer Bloom, I have a replacement valve for this door finished at the workshop. Once we install it, we can finally see what's been festering in this supply depot for the past year. Festering basically means going rotten or becoming infected. Come see me when you want it. Sincerely, High Artificer Bartholomew. Alright, so instead of doing that, we're actually going to go up and around. Because I think you can. But first, let's check out what's in here. Okay, we are almost done with this backyard here. Here's our sleep dart replacement. Seeing a lot of stuff beyond that wall. Let's grab this little... Come on. We don't really need it, to be honest, but it's there. Okay, so it doesn't look like we can go through there, so let's find a way around. like we always do. Up, and there's Sammy down there. Just smoking, waiting for us. Okay, so this is the back way in. Those of you who have played the game before probably already knew about that, but maybe you didn't. Always like to add a few little tips and tricks where I can. Call to the Spheres. Oh, another one we already read. Back at the Hound Pits pub, and there is our bone charm. Let's read this real quick. Day 15, month of timber. I managed to steal away one of the charms they were smashing in Warehouse A. That was probably the place in the last episode, down where the rats were, with the vice. Smashing them. Such beautiful and powerful things, and my brothers have no idea. They'll never find me back here, though. Nobody comes back here. I can brick up the door, and they'll never find me. It's all mine. My precious. And he's got a grenade. Always nice. Alright, so let's check out this bone charm. But real quick, this is probably where he's been bricking the thing up. Be good. Falling star. Oh, that's probably some kind of drop assassination thing. Yeah. There's better ones, but if you get those out of the way, then the rest will come later. I don't think we can... No, I don't want to risk it. So let's just head on up here. And then down here. Okay. So I think we did a good job. We pretty much took care of everything. So let's go and... It is me. It is me. This chain will take us forever, and since we got the distance, let's just do that. Oh, that was painful. We have a million of these, so...
Hey, Corvo. It's Samuel. I'm here.
I know, I know. Just wanted to turn on the heart real quick, see if it had anything interesting to say.
Once they are brought here, they never leave. The overseers always find the guilt they seek.
How about this whaling ship?
Where have the overseers gone? They wade through chest-high waters with their hounds.
How about Sammy?
Samuel Beechworth went to sea to forget a hopeless love. He succeeded.
Okay, enough delaying. Let's complete this.
From the way I hear it, Campbell lived a pretty posh life. Maybe it's not my place to say, but men of the faith shouldn't live like barons. Are you ready to go?
Indeed I am. Take me back to the Hound Pits pub.
Okay, let's go.
Excellent. Alright, so we'll check out real quick what we did. Oh, this was a long mission. We actually did pretty good. 70 hostiles killed, a bunch of bodies found, but no civilians and no alarms. Got all the special actions. So that rocks. And we found all the runes, 7 out of 7, all the bone charms, all the shrines, all the paintings, and we came very close to getting all the coins. I don't think I've ever played where I've gotten every single coin. I don't know where they're hidden. They're probably, some of them are clipped in the ground. You can't even get them. I don't know, but it's all good though. So we'll pick all this up in the next episode. Thanks again for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button and that like button if you're digging what we got here. And thanks again.